Yeah, I think I've always said, and I really found that at Swift, and certainly now with our clients at Kinnovis, life happens out of office hours.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
believe that in the future we will use us humans for human contact.
Yeah,
And all the
I
admin
agree.
behind us that we are still doing today, like monkeys sitting on the laptop every day and trying to get the admin done, all that is going to be automated.
Hello, everyone. This is Laura from Sensorberg, and this is the Smart Storage Talk. So today we talk about data. It's all about data today, data-driven self-storages, the power of data, and I have two very special guests today from Kinnovis. So please, everyone, welcome Martin and Lou from Kinnovis. Hello, you guys.
Hi.
Hello, thank you for having us. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, of course. I'm super excited and thank you very much for your time. Very much appreciated. So for the listeners who might not know you, maybe there are some of them, but I don't think so actually, because the self-storage industry is very small and most of the people know you. But for those who don't know you, can you just quickly introduce yourself?
All
Who
right,
wants to
so
go first?
I've got new glasses, so some people don't recognize me. I'm
Maybe.
introducing myself again. My name is Martin Wild. I am from Austria. I live in Vienna, and we started our own self-storage 8 years ago. Today we have 8 facilities running on Sensorberg, by the way. And we have started developing our own software for our own purposes 5 years ago. And that's basically where the idea of Kinnovis started. And eventually we founded Kinnovis 5 years ago and are on the market now in Europe since then and are serving customers in 18 different countries. And I'm happy to be the managing director and co-founder of Kinnovis and be part of this exciting journey together with Sensorberg.
Yes, super happy to work with you, Martin. And Lou, you.
Thank you. My name's Louise Stokes. I started in self-storage in Australia at the start of 2022. And that is where I was the first employee for Swift Storage, which was a fully centrally managed automated self-storage business that grew quite rapidly from one location to 15 in about 3.5 years. It was an amazing experience. I was completely new to the self-storage industry. So we really were able to do things a little bit differently in a modern way. Learned a lot, and I will never leave the self-storage industry now because I loved it so much. Then for personal reasons, I wanted to be living back in Europe. And so then I joined Kinnovis as the head of sales. And I've been with the company for about 6 months, and it's been absolutely amazing. We're growing the team. There's about 23 of us now. Yeah, we're really focused on helping operators seamlessly modernize their operations. So very exciting times.
It's great. And you're based in the UK, right now? Or
Right
based
now,
in
I'm in Vienna. So I'm in sunny
Oh,
Vienna.
cool.
So I get to be at our HQ most days of the week, and it's phenomenal to be
That's
amongst the
nice.
team, but traveling a
Yeah.
lot as well.
Yeah. I mean, it comes with a role, right? To travel, to see customers, of course, speak to newbies as well in the industry. So yeah, great. Welcome. Super excited for this
Thank you.
conversation today. Great. So, I mean, Lou, but also you, Martin, you have quite an experience of running a self-storage as well, but also from a Kinnovis perspective, you have quite an experience of data, and it's all about data today. So maybe we can kick it off there with the very first question for today's session. So what is the real power of data when it comes to running a facility and maybe also optimizing an existing building and changing from one software maybe to Kinnovis software?
Yeah, so generally, I think a good gut feeling of what is right and what is wrong is very important, but definitely not everything. So what we see is that it has to be combined with good data, and you receive good data through a well-working system that is structuring data correctly in order to be able to also interpret the data correctly. Without properly structured data, you will never be able to interpret the data correctly and understand the data and compare it against your gut feeling. And yeah, pretty much our business is almost everything is around that, right? Because what you eventually want to do is growing your revenue, and you can only grow your revenue if you know how to improve your business on a regular basis. And yeah, and that's the value of data in a nutshell, I would say.
Yeah, I guess from my perspective, particularly when we started with 0 sites and we opened our first site, the owners of Swift Storage had been in the industry for many, many years, multiple decades. They hadn't been operators themselves, but they had a lot of assumptions around what we might need to do, or what the right thing in the storage industry, how they should operate. So with data, we were able to really test those assumptions and take out the guesswork, because actually opening a storage facility in 2022 at the time, and as we're getting lots of new entrants opening in this modern age, some of those assumptions are completely turned on their head, and it's not necessarily what it's always been. And I think a little bit of a red flag is when it's said that, oh, we've always done it that way. That should be questioned, and you can really use data to support that. And show the proof, and then carry forward, offering a better service for your customers. So yeah, testing assumptions and taking out the guesswork, as Martin said, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So speaking of data, what type of operational customer data would you say is important to collect nowadays?
I think it changed for us from 1 site to 15. At about the 8th site, obviously when you're starting and you're growing, it's all about occupancy. What are the units that people want to hire? What are the sizes? What are the trends? What's our seasonality? Is it actually what the industry is saying, oh, this is your high season, this is your low, actually what's happening in your local market? Because it can differ to what they see maybe in the industry report. So it's very much about occupancy data, and to a point, and then it's really about revenue management, and you got to get laser focused on revenue, your pricing, your competitors' pricing, your customers' pricing, and how you can grow your yield. So they're 2 big buckets of data. But then, of course, you can feed in your digital marketing data, your web analytics, all sorts of things, and obviously your access control, who's accessing their facility, and what are their user behaviors, and what might that indicate. There's some clues in there with how you can make meaning out of it.
I think also the level of details that you need grows by the number of facilities you have, number of customers you have. So also with our 8 facilities today, we are reporting on a lot more than we did with the first facility. Also with our customers that we luckily have more and more now of the bigger ones that have tens of thousands or even €100,000 Google budget. Then you really need to know every single detail. Where does which customer come from? Who came through the booking portal? Who came through a booking made by an employee on the Kinnovis manager? Which customer went in by when, and so on, through the access control information that you can pull out from access control systems. All of that together eventually helps you to optimize, for example, your Google budget. And that can mean a lot of money. You might be wasting a lot of money today, not unknowingly, and could eventually be resolved through getting the right details of the out of the data. So yeah, that's what we see a lot, the trend with large operators, medium-sized operators.
And I'd just add, we're all collecting loads of data, and it's all there, right? But it's actually being able to visualize it in a meaningful way. Yeah. And a big thing for us at Swift Storage was cost per move-in. So all our marketing costs, what does that actually equate to? And it's a bit of a simplistic way of looking at it, but it's one of the key metrics where we could really then monitor, are we going against some other operators with really expensive keywords? And it lets you really get visualization around that, so you can then pivot and tweak it. So dashboards and things become more and more important as you get bigger, but also at any size, I would say.
Yeah. So really also from an operational point of view, it's way easier, right? If you have a booking engine, for example, in place, you can attract also more customers. You can easily offer them 24/7 access, 24/7 booking as well. They just go to the website with Kinnovis, book and pay, get the confirmation, get the access rights, and then just go to the facility and check in maybe early in the morning or like late in the evening with none of the people having been on site, right? Like a really unmanned self-storage.
Yeah, I think I've always said, and I really found that at Swift, and certainly now with our clients at Kinnovis, life happens out of office hours. Like people getting storage is happening, late at night. They've put the kids down to bed. They're trying to move house. They're sorting something out. So they need to just sort out a household chore, which is book storage for the weekend, whatever that may be. So it's important that you as a business can capture those bookings. But of course, if you have customers that want to talk to you first, it's important that you're reachable, you're human, like you can do that in the hours that you have available. But equally, because people shop around so much now with storage, you need to capture those leads at all times of day and night. So yeah, it's incredibly important.
So you can actually use your stuff wisely, I would say, right? For the right task.
Yeah, it's for me, it's a lot about employee satisfaction. No one wants to be doing the same thing over and over and having sort of less creative conversations with customers. When a customer does call, they want to make sure that customer's informed. So your website really serves a lot of those things. Perhaps the customer just has a very specific question that they need answering, or really just wanted to check a few things. So then, of course, it's important to have a human available. But until that point, they really should be able to get most of the information online. And we certainly saw 60% of people booked without speaking to anyone first. They transacted with Swift 60% of the time without interacting with us. The 40% just needed a 2-minute phone call or a quick web chat to then make that decision. And then 80% were using a mobile device, which is the other thing. So they're on the go. They're not sat at a big desktop computer making those bookings. You need to be doing things in a mobile environment, very importantly.
Yeah. Great. So, I mean, I always also talk with a lot of, let's say, newbies who are really new into self-storage, or potential customers who already have running facilities and they don't have any booking engine in place. So people just use like a contact form, for example. I'm not a huge fan of a contact form because it has some disadvantages for sure. So maybe let's speaking a little bit more from a revenue perspective. What would you say why a booking engine is really a revenue game changer for like also newbies? If we start completely new with a self-storage, why you really need to have a booking engine in place and these kind of processes, I would say?
I think the simplest answer is you can collect bookings outside of opening hours, like Lou described. This is the major change that you will experience as a self-storage, that you suddenly realize, oops, there are many bookings coming outside of opening hours. And before that, before you have a booking portal and people can only contact through a contact form, they would have to wait, in worst case, 3 days until you're getting back on Monday morning.
Yeah.
And that's simply not an option anymore for many people on the market. So people want to have transparent pricing in that field. They want to know exactly what they're signing up to, and they don't want to talk to anyone. I think our generation is the best example, right? We don't want to be dependent on employees of a company to sign up, no matter if it's
on site. Please leave me alone. Just want to book and pay and done. And go there.
Booking flights, booking hotels. Why not with self-storage? It's just the same thing, really.
Yeah, I totally agree. Comparing it to the sort of airport example that we all just use the kiosk now, because you can do everything you need to do yourself, and really your website is the kiosk, or your phone is your kiosk for your business. So you're able to really book and see everything in real time. The other thing is, from a kind of operational point of view, you want people coming, or want customers coming in a unified funnel. So they're signing the storage agreement online properly. They're doing their ID check with their selfie and their ID. So everyone's coming through in an orderly way, so that your data, again, is clean and correct and tidy. We actually never signed up anyone ourselves. So we would definitely I spoke to many customers who were interested, and they said, fabulous, we've agreed on the unit we think you might need. I'm going to text you the link. It'll take 2 minutes, really reassure them, easy. And then they're coming through like everybody else. And that is much easier to operate with. I think just there's an assumption that you won't have any staff and it's manless or it's remote. It's not the case at all. You certainly have a team. You need plenty of staff involved in the storage facilities. They need to be clean. They need to be tidy. There's move outs to process, all these sort of things. So it's just not in the typical way that we expect. And I think as a society, we expect instantaneous information. We don't want to wait. If you see a form, as you said, you go, oh, I'm never going to hear back. So there's just an assumption it won't work.
Yeah. Do you also, from an operator point of view, do you also see there a trend of immediate check-ins, that someone is really booking just now and then I want to move in tomorrow morning, for example? For self-storage, is it quite rare in self-storage?
Definitely.
100%.
Anyone who books on a Sunday evening and wants to move in, usually people don't plan much ahead.
Yeah.
So generally in their private life, especially because they don't have time, they don't have they don't want to spend too much energy on planning things.
Yeah.
So it's always short notice decisions. So for example, when I'm moving my apartment, probably on a Saturday evening, I realized what I cannot fit into my new apartment, and I have to return the keys of my new apartment by Monday morning. I need to move the stuff today because my rental car is only available today. A self-storage that works old school without digital access, without booking portal, simply is not going to get that deal. And these are actually very common use cases. Or someone passing away, that's also a very common persona in self-storage. So lots of things that are simply unplanned in life have to be, people want to find solutions immediately and be able to move in right away.
It's one less thing to worry about. And I think, Martin, you said the word need, like I need extra space and I need it now. Storage is a necessity. It's not like I might consider it. And maybe it is for that new decluttering sort of trend. But other than that, it's these big life events in the family home, moving countries. You need it when you need it. And it's not something people spend much time thinking about. But once you do need it, you need to be able to find it quickly, do what you need to do and move on, because you've got 1,000,001 other things that you need to probably sort out. So it's one less thing to spend time doing, which is important that the operator can allow for that, for sure.
Yeah.
We see it in our self-storage. Many customers that come to us are in a very stressful situation of their lives.
Because life just happens, right? I mean, we cannot really plan it.
Yeah. And they really want easy solutions.
Yeah.
It's all about that.
100%. During the booking process, is there like any way from an operator point of view, but also for your end customers, or for the end customer of the operator, to have any add-on services to book, or like any upselling opportunities during the booking process?
Yeah, right. That's a big topic because you can actually
it's
generate quite a lot of
people ask me.
You can generate a lot of revenue additionally to the rents that you're collecting from your customers. That can be, for example, insurance, premium access, 24/7 access, cleaning fees, German's Vertragsentrichtungsgebühr, all kinds of crazy words that you want to upsell, any kind of fee. So there is a lot that you can upsell with, again, taking away worries from the people by insurance, by packing material that's available right from the start of the move-in, and so on and so on. So solving the more problems you're solving in the booking portal for your customers, the better. And part of it is not only space, but it could also be additional services.
Yeah, great. So I just have one last question for you guys, and then you can basically go into the weekend. So let's talk a little bit about AI. Yeah, I know you guys are very big also on AI. It's always Kinnovis and AI. So how would you say, maybe looking also ahead, like in the future, how would you say, how will technology such as AI automate any sort of customer relationship, customer management, and also shaping the future of self-storage?
Yeah, so I believe that AI will help a lot in the customer communication. Many are very reluctant in using technology for customer communication, but they're as well reluctant in working on a Sunday evening. And with AI, you can combine this somehow. You can serve customers on a Sunday evening, and Monday morning you're available as a human again. So we will be able to solve our customers, our self-storage customers' problems 24/7 with AI quite well very soon. So already today we have Chain AI, right, that serves customers around the clock in a very human-like manner. Also, there are voice chats, all this kind of technologies. That's from the customer-facing side. I would say that has the biggest. That's going to have the biggest impact. Already has quite a big impact in self-storage. Then there are many other operator-facing points, but yeah, we could talk about it very long. Depends how much time we've got.
Maybe we do have another session then on AI just with you guys.
Amazing.
I think it's actually also one topic for the panel discussion in Germany, or in actually Vienna. Yeah, in Vienna, right? In Vienna for the Branchenforum from the German Self-Storage Association. And AI is one topic there for the panel discussion.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think with AI, it's kind of putting some of the building into our hands as operators or as suppliers, where we can move more at pace. So again, going back to data, it's now possible to pull all your data from all your different sources, such as your Kinnovis manager, your Sensorberg, and then be able to really dig into it without spending too much time. So it can start to make sense of some of these big sources. And I've always said the PMS or the Kinnovis manager is your source of truth, your central train station, and then it's going off to these different things such as your access, your digital marketing, all sorts of different other stations. So AI can sit around that and make sense of it a lot quicker. And you can prompt it to do other things. So it's a very interesting time we're all in, but I think it's important to embrace them, because if you don't, other people will. And then that's when you can potentially face disruption as a business. So, yeah.
Also, one more thing regarding reporting and data, what we started in this podcast. AI is going to help us take the right conclusions from our data. I think everybody knows it, 15 different reports, and it's super annoying looking at them every month and then trying to figure out every time again what is the right conclusion out of it. AI is amazing in doing this, and that's why we are at Kinnovis incorporating AI in literally everything, because there's so much potential, and already today features that help operators every day to simply save time and get also better decisions at the end of the day, and have a better quality of everything, basically.
Yeah, 100%. So really it means that technology and AI can just support you on the task, where stuff is not needed, right? And then you can use your stuff on site or just on a maybe in a central location. You can use your stuff wisely and for the right task. And for the rest, you can use the technology and AI.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
believe that in the future we will use us humans for human contact.
Yeah.
And all the
I agree.
admin behind us that we are still doing today, like monkeys sitting on the laptop every day and trying to get the admin done, all that is going to be automated. So we
Yeah.
will finally get to where we all humans want to be, being with humans, talking to humans. That's the ideal world that I hope it's going to come
Yeah.
sooner than later.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. We can focus on relationships, work relationships, you know, the human to human contact. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's the end of it already. Thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure to have you here today. I think it was a very good conversation, a lot of input from you guys. So thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Laura.